last class we discussed about block brakes. So now we will have something, this new system of brakes which we call as a band brake. So band brake is applicable. So when you have belt type of approach. So we are using belt, right, to stop as a brake. So we are using belt as a brake, right? So so what happens? You can able to see that this is a belt drive which is connected to your flywheel or a drum. So when you apply a force on this, what happens? The belt will have friction with your drum. This will cause brake. Okay, this will stop your rotation, right? That is what we call as a uh, band brake, right? So mostly you can able to see these types of brakes in even in our thermal labs, right? I think IC engines experiment பண்ணிருப்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ அங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸோ இன்ஜின் ஸ்டாப் பண்றதுக்கு லோட் அப்ளை பண்ணுவீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ இட் வில் பி லைக் தட். ஸோ ரோப் போட்டிருப்பாங்க, பெல்ட் பதில் ரோப் இருக்கும், right? So to stop. So we will identify braking power, right? So equivalent to that. So anything which is using belt, right, to stop, we call that as a band brake. Okay. So since you are using belt, right, you will have a friction in the belt. You will have a friction in the belt. To identify what will be the friction, what will be the tension in your belts, you use this formula, right? T1 by T2 is equal to E power mu theta, right? Where T1 is the tight side, T2 is the slack side, right? So T1 is the tight side and T2 is the slack side, right? It depends on the rotation, right? It is purely depends on the rotation. For example, if this is rotating like this, we can able to see that the arrow is rotating in clockwise direction. In that case, first it makes this in contact, which is pulling this belt, right? In the belt now only இருக்குது, right? So this side T1 will be tight side here. This is tight side, right? And T2 is this slack side. Okay. So it depends on purely. So for example, if it is rotating like this, then again, instead of T2, I will consider this as T1 and this as T2, right? So always you consider tight side as T1 and slack side as T2, right? So that is very, very important. So that is depends on the particular type of rotation, how it is occurring, right? So once you identify this, we will identify what is our braking torque. Braking torque is equal to T1 minus T2 into R. R is the radius of the drum. T1 minus T2 is nothing but braking force, right? This is nothing but a braking force which is applied on your brake. Sometimes your belt will be very, very thick, right? It is like this. For example, so this is my drum. My belt is somewhat very thick, like this, right? So let me consider the thickness of the belt as T. In that case, your R will becomes RE. So RE is equal to radius of the drum plus half of the thickness of your belt, right? Usually we will neglect the thickness. Sometimes they will give the thickness of the belt also. If they give the thickness of the belt, you have to identify RE. So RE is the equivalent radius. So from the center of the belt to the center point, that is RE, right? That RE is nothing but R, so radius of the brake drum plus T by 2, where T is the thickness of your belt, right? So we use this concept to
Sir,
identify.
if they give thickness of the belt, we have to do like this, sir.
Yeah, if they give the thickness, you have to identify RE, right? If the thickness is not given, you always directly consider R. You don't need to consider RE, right? So that is one thing. So you can identify what is the value of this particular thing, right? Once you identify, so you can identify what is the tension in your uh, belt T1. So once you get the tension, you can identify stress for this particular belt, right? So you know that stress is equal to force by area. So force is nothing but tension. In that case, to identify tension, I can also write stress into area. So area is W, width of the belt and thickness of the belt, right? So, or you can also identify stress. Stress is equal to T1 divided by W into T. Right? So, to identify what will be the maximum stress which is acting on your belt. Right? So, this is simple, which is directly connected to your fulcrum. Right? This is my center point. So, directly it is connected here, and this is another point. You have only B, which is connected like this, and L. Right? Make sure the force is acting upward, right, to apply the brake. Right? So this is one setup. This is one setup. Right? So whatever I take moment, you can able to see that the moment value will be same, whether it is rotating in clockwise or rotating in anti-clockwise. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, mostly the moment value will be same. There is no difference in that, right? So that's why there is no self-locking in this types of brakes, right? For simple brake, there is no self-locking. Okay, right. The next one, we have something called as differential band brake. So the difference is, you can able to see there is an increase in your lever.
1 minute
So
last.
this is sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So when you consider this differential band brake, you can able to see that there is a extra lever which is attached. Let me consider that as A, and the other one which is connected to your belt, that is B. So this is the extra lever which is making it to apply the brake, right? So when you add this extra lever, what happens? Your force will be in opposite direction. Usually what happens? You will be applying force here, right, towards upward, right? You can able to see your previous slide. So the force is applied upward to apply the brake. Here, you can apply downward. What happens? As a lever principle, so when it comes down, this comes down, so this will go up, which will apply the brake, right? Which will apply the brake. So based on that principle, it is you can able to get this brake. Okay. So in this case, so there is two distances. A distance from the tension, which is A, and another one. So B, and the other one is A, right? Which is with respect to point O, right? So let me take moment at O, right? If I take moment at O, what will get? So this is my point O. So force into distance, it is rotating in clockwise. So minus F into L, right? This one tension, it is also rotating in clockwise. T1 into B, minus T1 into B, right? Minus T1 into B. And this one is rotating in anti-clockwise. So plus T2 into A is equal to 0. Right? This moment is 0. In that case, I can write it like this. What I can do, I can write this as F into L is equal to, right? F into L is equal to T2A minus T1B, right? So, or F is equal to T2A minus T1B divided by L, right? This is my force. What is the force required to apply this brake? Right? What is the force required to apply this brake? Right? Of course, this formula is common since it is a belt drive. You will have this formula T2 by T1. Sorry, T1 by T2 is equal to E power mu theta, where T1 is your tight side and T2 is your slack side. Okay, so that is the common term. So you will be having this also. But here, if we are able to see, so your force, so force is something like this. When your force becomes 0, when your force becomes 0,
T2A is equal to T1B.
so when T2A is equal to T1B in this case, right? So when your force is equal to 0, or when your force is negative, right, we say that it is self-locking. In this case, we say that it is self-locking. So self-locking is applicable when your force is negative, right? So this is self-locking, right? When your force is negative. So in that case, I can write it also. So which means that when you will have negative, so I can also consider this T2A. T2A is less than or equal to, right? T2A is less than or equal to T1B, right? Then I can say that it is self-locking, right? Or I can also write it like this in a different form, right? What I can do, I can write as T2 by T1 is less than or equal to B by E. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, right? So this is the condition for self-locking when your band brake, when your drum is rotating in which direction? Clockwise direction, right? When it is rotating in clockwise direction, you will get this particular equation for your self-locking, right? As I told you before, it is very difficult to remember the formula. You better go through these steps, right? By these steps you can identify. Only thing is you should know that when a force is negative, it will be self-locking. So you identify that. So you take moment, you find the formula, then identify what will be the self-locking condition, right? So that is the best way to find out what will be the derivations for this particular problems. Okay. So any doubt in this? Yeah. Now the same brake, right? Now I am applying force in anti-clockwise direction, right? You can able to see that. See, when it is rotating like this, I call this as T1. I call this as T1 because this is the first time it is pulling your rope or belt, right? So when it is like this is what we call as T1 now, right? That is changing, right? Because when it rotates, this is the first time it is pulling. This is pushing. இந்த பெல்ட் வந்து புஷ் ஆகுது, இந்த பெல்ட் தான் புல் ஆகுது, இழுக்குது, ரைட்? அப்போ எந்த சைடு இழுக்குதோ அதுதான் அந்த டைட் சைடு, ரைட்? ஸோ அப்போ இது T1 ஆயிடும், right? There will be a change in the formula, right? So the notation, right? That you have to be considered. You should consider that. Okay. Now, same condition. I will say that I will take moment at O. So force into L, so minus F into L, because it is rotating in clockwise. T2, so T2 is also rotating in clockwise. I am taking moment, so minus T2 into B, right? And this one anti-clockwise plus T1 into A is equal to 0. So F is equal to T1A minus T2B divided by L. So here, what is the condition for self-locking? What is the condition for self-locking? A little bit different. Okay, what it means?
Should be greater than or equal to T1.
So yes, so T1A should be lesser than or equal to T2B, right? Or T1 by T2 should be lesser than or equal to B by A, right? This is the condition for self-locking, right? When it is rotating in counterclockwise direction, right? When it is rotating in counterclockwise direction. Okay, so this is how. So only thing is we are going to take moment and we are going to solve it, right? Again, the formula is same. To identify what is the tension in rope, we use the formula T1 by T2 is equal to E power v theta, where mu is the coefficient of friction, theta is angle of contact. What is the angle of contact between the belt and the drum in radians? It should be in radians. Okay, right. These are the concepts.
Sir.
Yes, belt and brake drum oda coefficient, right? It is related to that. theta வந்து angle of contact. இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸோ இந்த பெல் டு பிரேக்கை வந்து எவ்வளவு தூரம் கான்டாக்ட்ல இருக்கு. பாத்தீங்கன்னா இது வரைக்கும் கான்டாக்ட்ல இருக்கு இல்லையா. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் யுவர் ஆங்கிள் theta, right? That is your angle of contact theta. Right, let me consider this. You have a band brake, so as shown in the figure, right? So which is related to this, right? So you can able to see that there is a mass which is carrying around 400 kg, right, along this can brake, right? So the radius of the drum is given, which is 450 mm, and it is running at 300 rpm, right? So they are given what is the coefficient of friction and what is the brake drum diameter, everything. They are asking you the torque applied when you apply a force of 100 Newton, number of turns in the flywheel, right, and time required to bring at rest, right? Similar type of question. Okay, so let us write out what are the given data, right? So you have mass of the flywheel m, which is equal to 400 kg. Radius of gyration is given. So usually we call radius of gyration as k, I think small k, right? So I call as small k. So small k is equal to 450 mm. Speed is given n, which is equal to 300 rpm, right? And of course the other data, coefficient of friction is given. Coefficient of friction mu is 0.2, right? And brake drum diameter is given, so which is r. I will identify what is r. So r is the radius of the drum, which is 120 mm, right? Radius of the drum is 120. So we have to identify each data one by one. Okay, my question is, what is the necessity of these three data? How do you relate these three data in this particular problem? ஏன்னா வந்து ரேடியஸ் ஆஃப் டைரக்ஷன் மாஸ் இது கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, இது வந்து எங்க யூஸ் பண்ணலாம், ரைட்? ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து there will be a problem, right? The thing is, you think about it, they are asking number of turns in the question. Okay, the second part and third part, in the second பார்ட்டுக்கும் third பார்ட்டுக்கும் இந்த டேட்டா வந்து இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், right? Because we have discussed lots of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒன்னு நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா half mv² சொல்றோம், right? இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா whenever your object is moving straight, mostly, right? Even if it is rotating, we will change it to straight. Velocityன்றது வந்து straight direction. அது வந்து அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டு we will be applying it, right? So இன்னொன்னு இருக்கு, so rotation பேஸ் பண்ணி அது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா half I omega square, right? Half I omega square. இதுவும் வந்து kinetic energy தான், right? இதுல வந்து I என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா radius of gyration பேஸ் பண்ணி கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். You know that radius of gyration k is equal to root of I by a. இது ஃபார்முலா. ஸோ அப்போ I என்னன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம்னா, ஸோ I by m, சாரி I a இல்ல I by m. ஸோ ஏவும் சொல்லுவாங்க, எம்மும் வந்து you can consider, right? In that case, இந்த கேஸ்ல வந்து it is m, right? So in that case I can write it as m k square, right? I is m k square. So to substitute it here, omega is 2 pi n by 60. So the kinetic energy we can apply it like that. Okay, அதே மாதிரி work done in terms of this. So work done என்னன்னு வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, right? So work done will be torque into omega, right? Torque into omega. Omega வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா just 2 pi n. So it is a rotation, number of rotations, right? So omega is nothing but 2 pi n, right? So 2 pi n. இந்த n தான் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது. That is your number of rotations, right? To identify that. So இது ரெண்டுத்தையும் ரிலேட் பண்ணி we'll be solving it. Okay. So the value of k, so k and I கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா you have to use this formula, right, to identify what is the number of rotations, right? That is the main purpose of this particular data which is given. Okay, right? We will proceed with the problem. So this is my diagram. So what I can take moment. at a particular point. Okay, where to take moment? So either at A, at O, or a location. So it is up to, let me consider, I am taking moment at O, right? And I am equating to 0, right? When I take moment at O, so force into perpendicular distance, right? It is rotating in clockwise, 100 into 300. So you'll get 100 into 300. Okay, this is the one value. Then
Minus.
yeah,
minus.
thank you.
Minus.
Yeah, thank you. It's minus. So this T1, it is already in O, so there is no perpendicular, it is 0. Next T2. So T2 is rotating in anti-clockwise, right? T2 is rotating in anti-clockwise, and it is 120, right? So we are taking moment at O, right? So it is 120. So plus T2 into plus T2 into 120. This is equal to 0, right? In that case,
Sir,
I can
T2 is
identify
also
what is the
acting
value of,
downwards only now, sir.
yeah, it is acting downward.
So negative should come.
See, we are taking moment. We are taking moment. When we take moment, it is rotating in anti-clockwise.
Okay, sir.
We are not considering force, we are considering moment.
Okay, sir.
Right? This is also a moment. This is rotation in clockwise and this is rotation in anti-clockwise. Right? So that is why we put minus and plus. Right? In that case, I can identify what is the value of T2. So T2 will be equal to 1, sorry, it is 100 into 300 divided by 120. So what is your T2 value? You are getting 250 Newton.
Can you explain why T1 we are not, yes, sir, T1 is 0, sir. T2 we are taking directly as moment, sir.
No, I am taking moment at point O. We take moment at point O. You need force into perpendicular distance, right? This
Yes,
force,
sir.
you have a distance 300. T1 is already in O.
Yes,
So
sir. So
there is no
no
distance.
moment.
So it is 0. T2, the perpendicular distance is 120.
Yes, sir. But it is acting the upwards or downwards, sir, actually.
This one.
T2.
Just a minute. I will draw it here. So if I draw the free body diagram, so I have to consider the free body diagram only for the lever. Means it is like this. This is my lever. Right? So your C is here, acting downward. This is my O, which is acting like this, which is T1. And this is my T2, which is acting downward, T2. Right? This is 120 and this is 300. Okay? So this is my free body diagram. I am taking moment at this point O. Right? When I take, you will have that particular value. Can you able to get it? So now I got what is the value of T2. Right? But our braking torque, the formula is different. We need T1 also. They are asking what is the torque applied. You know what is the formula for torque? So the torque is nothing but T1 minus T2 into radius of the drum. Right? In that case, I need T1 also. So even though I got T2, I want to identify T1. So T1 I can identify from the equation. So we know that. So T1 by T2, I think so. Because the rotation is like this. Of course, this is T1. So identify. Sometimes in the question they may alter it. Right? T1 எப்பயுமே வரும். எது டைட் சைடோ அதான் மேல வரணும். So சில புக்ல வந்து டைட் சைடு வந்து T2 எடுத்துப்பாங்க. இல்லைன்னா T max சொல்லுவாங்க. So அதனால வந்து you just look after the diagram and identify. Okay? So இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இதுதான் வந்து T1. Right? This is my T1. So T1 by T2. T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta. Right? Mu, you know, it is already known,
Sir,
which is
so it should
0.2.
always be tight by slack or slack by tight, sir.
Always tight by slack. Always tight by slack. Okay.
Then in this case, you should
Theta,
take T2 by T1 only, no, sir.
no, this side is tight. So it is rotating like this. This side is tight. T1 is tight.
Okay,
This
sir.
is slack. So T1 by T2. Okay. Now I have to identify.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
இப்போ இதுதான் ட்ரம் இப்போ இது ரொட்டேட் ஆகுதுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, ரைட்? இப்போ ரொட்டேட் ஆகும்போது என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா இந்த பெல்ட் வந்து இழுக்குது. திஸ் பெல்ட் இஸ் புல்லிங் வந்து டைட்டு. இப்போ இதே சைடு இப்படி வரும்போது இந்த பிரேக் வந்து இந்த இடத்துல பெல்ட் என்ன பண்ணுது, பெல்ட்டை ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுது, ரைட்டா? இந்த ரொட்டேஷன் இந்த பெல்ட் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுது. அப்போ வந்து இந்த சைடு வந்து ஸ்லாக். கேட்டு ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இதுதான் வந்து என்னோட சர்க்கிள். இப்போ என்னோட பெல்ட் இப்படி இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. இப்போ நான் இப்படி ரொட்டேஷன் கொடுக்குறேன். இப்போ ரொட்டேஷன் கொடுத்தேன்னா என்ன ஆகுது, ரைட்? இந்த சைடு இருக்கு இல்லையா, திஸ் சைடு, இந்த சைடு வந்து இழுக்குது, ரைட்? அப்போ வந்து இதுதான் வந்து T1, இது வந்து T2. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So எந்த சைடு வந்து புல் ஆகுதோ அந்த சைடு வந்து டைட் சைடு, ரைட்? Okay. So theta, you to identify what is the value of theta. Theta is angle of contact. Angle of contact, you can able to see that it is having contact from here to here, right? So this is my angle of contact, right? So this is my angle of contact. Okay. So இது 90 சொல்லிட்டாங்க, இது 60 சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Remaining என்ன இருக்கோ அதுதான் வந்து theta. So which means theta will be equal to 260 minus 150, right? Which is nothing but 210, right? So your theta is 210 degree. The theta is 210 degree. But you have to substitute the theta only in radians, which means I have to multiply with pi divided by 180. So what is your angle theta? 3.663, right? Okay, good. So now I can apply this formula. So T1 is equal to T2 into e power mu theta, right? Which means T2 I know already, which is 250. So 250 into e power mu is 0.2 into 3.663, right? So what is the value of T1? So in the calculator you have e power, right? Use that and find out what is the value of T1. 520.15 Newton, right? Very good. So now we identify both the values. We identified T1 and T2. Now I can apply what is the torque, right? My torque is equal to T1 520.15 minus 250 T2 into radius of the drum. So what is the radius? So radius is 120 mm. So radius is 120 mm, right? So find out what is the torque, T, right? Which means I can also write in terms of meter. So your torque is 32.418 Newton meter. Okay, right? So we have completed the first solution, well, the first part, that is over. Next, the number of turns on the wheel before it brought to rest, right? As I told you, so which means I have to relate kinetic energy with the work done, right? So that is the second part. So second part, I have to identify what is the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is half into I into omega square, right? So where I can write it as half into m into k square into omega square, right? So let me substitute it to identify what is my kinetic energy, which is equal to half mass of my system is it is 400 kg into radius of gyration. I am substituting in meter, right? So 450 mm. So when I substitute in meter, you will get 0.45 square, right? Into omega. Omega is 2 pi n by 60. So 2 into pi into n. So radius. So sorry, RPM, rotation in RPM. So 300 divided by 60 the whole square, right? So what is your kinetic energy? 1272.34 What? Unit.
Joules.
Okay, joules. Right? Okay, so we got what is our kinetic energy here. Right? So now I have to relate with the work done. Right? Work done is nothing but torque into omega. So omega is the rotation for one rotation, how it is, right? So which is equal to torque is what we identified, which is 32.418, right? Into omega is 2 pi. It is rotating for 360 degree into n. N, I don't know what is the number of rotation. That is what we are going to
Sir,
identify.
1 minute, sir. Omega square பண்ண மாட்டோம் சார். ஆன்சர் வேற வருது சார். 339,971.89.
Sorry, 39.
Sir, 39,971.89, sir.
Thank you. So I'm relating this. So let me relate it. So is this equation 1 and equation 2. I can write kinetic energy is both are same in that case. So I can write it like this: 32.418 into 2 pi into n is equal to 39971.89. So what is your n? You're getting 196.24, right? So approximately 196 or 197, right?
2 pi and formula எப்படி சார்
டார்க்ன்றது ஃபோர்ஸ் இன்டு ரேடியஸ் இல்லையா? இதான்
ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார்
ஃபோர்ஸ் இன்டு ரேடியஸ். ஒமேகான்றது எத்தனை டர்ன். ஸோ இதான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு பிரேக் ட்ரம் இல்லையா? இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 360 டிகிரி ரொட்டேட் ஆகுது. ரைட்டா? 360க்கு தான் 2 பாயிண்ட் போட்டிருக்கேன். n எத்தனை தடவை ரொட்டேட் ஆகுது?
ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் சரி சார்.
Yeah. So now n is 196.24. Okay, we got this. So this is second point is also over. Now we'll go for the third one. What is the time required to bring it to rest? Time required. So now I know what is the rotation. So number of revolution is 196. Right? I also know what is the speed. Right? Speed is how much? 300 RPM. Right? So the speed is 300, which is given. Right? So I can identify what is the time taken by using this two relation. Right? Speed I can write it as capital N. So time taken is small n divided by capital N. This is nothing but 196.24 divided by 300. So how much you are getting? Unit?
மீட்டர்
Meter per
Minute.
second. Minute or
Minutes.
sir?
மீட்டர் பர் செகண்ட்
Minutes. RPM revolution per minute. அது வந்து இப்போ denominator மேல வந்துருச்சு. Right? It is in minutes. Right? So which means 0.654 into 60 to convert it to seconds. Right? So multiply with 60. Right? The time required is 39.24 seconds. Right? That is the third part. Right? Any doubt in this?